I'm extremely humbled by today's topic, which is going to lead to board certification in divinity, seekers of the light of Jesus Christ, an association of imperfect holy men and women. Extremely humbled by this. To begin with, we're going to start with the pledge for candidates and members. For those of you about to receive this knowledge, and for those of you who are about to be reminded of what you already know, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I pledge, by all that is sacred to me, that I am aware of the dangers and destructiveness of spiritual pride, and I will never use my knowledge and development to exalt myself over others or claim any religious or moral superiority. And I will humbly use my knowledge for only good and constructive purposes. So help me God. I'm not an expert on the Bible. I'm not a biblical scholar. I am an expert, however, on the ways to internalize thoughts. And so we're going to deal with how to internalize some of the key thoughts that Jesus brought to us. Now, I've asked many people, what do you think of the couple of main principles that I could use in teaching such a class as this? I've asked ministers, I've asked Bible scholars, and I would hear very good answers, excellent answers, all of which were important points. But as I pondered the issue, I felt that none of them, except maybe one, really, named the main two principles. We're going to focus on two main teachings of Jesus Christ, and we're going to find ways to internalize this through the power thought system. We're going to paraphrase it. So basically, we're going to have a power thoughts that are scripturally inspired. What I found in my investigation and talking to people was not a surprise, because I found no matter what the religion is, people tend to lose sight of priorities. If you give people 100 principles and say, these are all important, these are the most important, but here's everything. Guess what happens? Within a short period of time, that which was told was the most important, the crucial, is given the same weight as everything else in the teachings. There seems to be some kind of limitation in the masses of humanity to keep sense of the priorities. And so to give too many principles is actually a disservice. You can get into minuscule points, but there are some very powerful principles that Jesus gave us. They're all powerful. But he tells us what the main ones are. It's very clearly in all the books. It's stated over and over again. And we're going to go into those two main principles and the transforming power in our lives. We're not going to go into a lot of the detailed Bible scholarly aspect, because there are many more people more qualified than myself to do that. But I am an expert on how to internalize thoughts. And I'm very good at keeping priorities. Now, if we look at Jesus' life, one of the main things we see is he served everyone. He didn't turn anyone down, whether they were asking for healing or spiritual upliftment or material goods, whatever it was, Jesus responded and served all. We can see that selfless service within himself and in his life. Now, what we're going to focus on here is to aspire to deeds of greatness. And we're going to achieve this greatness by living the main 2 points that Jesus brought to us. There's so many other aspects that are important. We're going to concentrate on the main 2 aspects. What are they? Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. That's Matthew chapter 22, verse 37.